Have you ever gazed into the deep sapphire abyss of Belize's Great Blue Hole, or wandered beneath the ancient towering giants of Madagascar's Baobab Alley? From the tiny Drina River house balancing precariously on a Serbian rock to the world's most surreal landscapes, our planet is hiding breathtaking secrets waiting to be found. Join us on this journey to the most magnificent places on Earth. Emerging from the rugged grandeur of the Swiss Alps, the Landwasser Viaduct is a breathtaking feat of engineering that looks like a model train set brought to life. Located in the canton of Graubünden, this single-track limestone bridge curves dramatically across the Landwasser Valley, soaring 65 meters above the rushing river below. Built in 1902 without the use of scaffolding, a staggering achievement for its time, the viaduct consists of 6 massive arches that guide the train on a precarious scenic arc. The most striking feature is the southern end, where the rails vanish instantly into the sheared cliff face of the Landwasser Tunnel, creating a surreal transition from open air to solid rock. Part of the UNESCO World Heritage Rhaetian Railway, the site of the bright red Glacier Express winding over the grey stone arches against a backdrop of snowy peaks and dense pine forests, is one of the most iconic images of Switzerland. Dominating the landscape of Antioquia, Colombia, La Piedra del Peñol, the Rock of Guatapé, is a geological titan that appears to have been dropped from the heavens. This massive granite monolith rises 200 meters straight out of the ground, weighing an estimated 10 million tons. What makes it truly iconic is the surreal, zigzagging staircase built directly into a vertical fissure on the rock's smooth face. From a distance, the 740 concrete steps look like giant stitches holding the stone together. The climb is grueling, but the reward at the summit is often cited as the best view in the world. Visitors are greeted by a breathtaking 360-degree panorama of the Guatapé Reservoir, a labyrinth of emerald green islands sprawling across deep blue waters. This stark contrast between the prehistoric grey stone and the lush, man-made aquatic landscape creates a visual spectacle that is utterly unique in South America. Rising from the rolling sands of the Ica Desert in southern Peru, Huacachina is a scene that defies logic. A lush tropical oasis thriving in the midst of a barren sea of sand. Centered around a natural desert lagoon, the tiny village is ringed by verdant palm trees, eucalyptus, and colonial-style buildings, all sheltered by colossal sand dunes that tower hundreds of feet high. From the air, it looks like a solitary drop of life in a vast ocean of gold. While it appears to be a tranquil mirage, Huacachina is the adrenaline capital of the Peruvian coast. The surrounding dunes, some as high as small mountains, serve as a playground for roaring dune buggies and sandboarders surfing the slopes at breakneck speeds. Local legend claims the lagoon was created by a bathing princess who fled a hunter, leaving behind a mirror that turned into the water and flowing robes that became the dunes, adding a layer of myth to this surreal cinematic landscape. Piercing the vibrant turquoise waters of the Caribbean Sea, the Great Blue Hole is a colossal marine sinkhole off the coast of Belize that looks like a portal to the abyss. This perfectly circular cavern spans over 300 meters across and plunges 124 meters deep, creating a stark, dark blue eye visible even from space. Originally a limestone cave system formed during the last ice age, the structure was submerged as sea levels rose, causing its roof to collapse and preserving massive stalactites deep within its watery depths. Made famous by Jacques Cousteau, who declared it one of the top diving sites on Earth, the hole offers an eerie, otherworldly experience for explorers. Divers descend past vertical walls into a silent, Gothic cathedral of rock, often accompanied by Caribbean reef sharks patrolling the gloom. Part of the Belize Barrier Reef Reserve system, the Great Blue Hole is a hauntingly beautiful geological wonder that connects us to the ancient history of our planet. Hidden within the dense jungles of East Java, Tumpak Sawul, loosely translating to 1,000 waterfalls, is arguably Indonesia's most spectacular natural wonder. Unlike a traditional single-stream waterfall, Tumpak Sawul forms a massive, semicircular curtain of water that cascades 120 meters down a sheer cliff face. The result is a misty, tiered amphitheater of water that looks like a scene from Jurassic Park, especially with the active cone of Mount Semeru, Java's highest volcano, looming ominously in the background. While the panoramic view from the rim is breathtaking, the journey to the bottom is an adventure in itself. Visitors must navigate a treacherous path of bamboo ladders and wet ropes down into the canyon floor. Once at the base, the thunderous roar and the sheer scale of the towering walls create a humbling, immersive experience. Carved into the Patagonian Andes on the border of Chile and Argentina, the marble caves Capilas de Mármol are arguably the most beautiful cave network in the world. Located in the center of General Carrera Lake, these caverns have been sculpted by 6,000 years of waves washing up against solid calcium carbonate. The result is a labyrinth of smooth, swirling walls that look like they are melting, featuring intricate patterns of blue, cyan, white and grey that mirror the glacial waters below. The visual magic of the caves relies entirely on the water. The turquoise tint of the glacial lake reflects onto the white marble ceiling, illuminating the cavern in an ethereal, shifting blue light that changes intensity with the water levels and seasons. Accessible only by boat, drifting through these echoing, cathedral-like arches offers a serene and hypnotic experience, where rock and water seem to fuse into a single, fluid element. Buried beneath a frozen ocean of jagged black lava, the ruins of San Juan Parangaricutiro in Michoacán, Mexico, stand as a haunting monument to the unstoppable force of nature. In 1943, the ground in a nearby cornfield suddenly split open, birthing the Paricutin volcano. Over the next 9 years, the volcano erupted continuously, engulfing 2 entire towns in molten rock. However, amidst the devastation, the towering bell tower and the altar of the old San Juan Parangaricutiro church miraculously survived, rising defiantly from the solidified lava flow. Today, the site offers a surreal, post-apocalyptic landscape. Visitors hike over the sharp, cooling basalt to reach the half-buried sanctuary where the stone facade contrasts violently with the dark, chaotic terrain. Inside, flowers and candles are still placed at the surviving altar, creating a powerful scene of faith enduring against destruction. It is a unique geological and spiritual landmark, freezing a moment of catastrophe in time. Located on the high-altitude plains of northwestern Argentina, Salinas Grandes is a blindingly white desert that rivals the more famous salt flats of Bolivia. Spanning over 6,000 square kilometers at an elevation of 3,450 meters, this vast expanse is the 3rd largest salt flat in the world. The landscape is defined by its crusty, polygonal salt patterns that stretch endlessly toward the horizon, created by the evaporation of an ancient, mineral-rich lake. What sets Salinas Grandes apart are the mesmerizing eyes of the desert, rectangular pools carved into the surface for salt and lithium extraction. These pools reveal the groundwater beneath, glowing with an intense, unnatural turquoise hue that contrasts sharply against the snowy white ground and the deep azure of the Andean sky. The stark, silent beauty of this white void destroys depth perception, making it a surreal playground for optical illusions and a testament to the harsh beauty of the Puna region. Tucked away on the edge of Middle Island in Western Australia, Lake Hillier creates a visual contrast so startling it looks like a digital alteration. This 600-meter-wide saltwater lake is famous for its permanent, vivid, bubblegum pink hue. Unlike many other colored lakes that shift with the seasons, Himalayas' strawberry milkshake color remains constant, even when the water is bottled. The vibrant pink water is starkly framed by a rim of crusty white salt and a dense dark green forest of paperbark and eucalyptus trees. Just beyond this colorful oasis lies the deep turquoise of the Southern Ocean, separated by only a narrow strip of sand dunes. Scientists believe the color comes from Dunaliella salina, a microalgae that produces red pigments to absorb sunlight in high salinity. Best viewed from the air, Lake Himalaya appears as a surreal splash of paint on the canvas of the Recherche archipelago, defying our expectations of what water should look like. Standing like ancient sentinels along a dusty red road in western Madagascar, Baobab Alley, or the Avenue of the Baobabs, is a scene that feels undeniably prehistoric. These massive Grenadier's baobabs, some estimated to be over 800 years old, tower up to 30 meters into the air. Their smooth, colossal trunks and sparse, flat-topped branches have earned them the nickname Roots of the Sky, as legend says the gods planted them upside down in a fit of anger. Once part of a dense, lush tropical forest, these lonely giants are the sole survivors of decades of deforestation for agriculture, now standing isolated against the flat scrubland. The sight creates its most unforgettable spectacle at sunset. As the sky burns with shades of fiery orange and purple, the massive black silhouettes of the trees cast long shadows, creating a majestic, solemn atmosphere that is one of Africa's most iconic images. Rising sheer from the sapphire waters of the Aegean Sea, Santorini is arguably the most visually striking island in the world. Its distinctive crescent shape is actually the rim of a massive submerged volcano, the result of the Minoan eruption, one of the largest volcanic events in recorded history, which blasted the island's center into the ocean. This cataclysm created the caldera, a dramatic cliff-lined lagoon where towering walls of red, black and white volcanic rock plunge 300 meters into the deep blue abyss. Perched precariously on these cliff edges are the villages of Fira and Oya, famous for their blindingly white cubic architecture and iconic cobalt blue domes. The contrast between the stark white buildings and the dark volcanic earth is mesmerizing. Whether viewing the world-famous golden sunset from the castle ruins of Oya or walking the black sand beaches of Parissa, Santorini offers a romantic, dramatic landscape that feels suspended between the sky and the sea. stretching over 2,300 kilometers along the coast of Queensland, Australia. The Great Barrier Reef is the largest living structure on Earth, so massive it is the only living thing visible from space. It is not just a single reef, but a colossal mosaic of nearly 3,000 individual reefs and 900 islands. This underwater kaleidoscope acts as the ocean's rainforest, hosting a staggering array of biodiversity, including 1,500 species of fish, 400 types of coral, and 6 of the world's 7 species of marine turtles. Divers and snorkelers are greeted by a riot of color: neon blues, radiant pinks, and fiery oranges as they float over delicate coral gardens teeming with life. From the tiny clownfish darting among anemones to the majestic migration of dwarf minke whales, the reef offers a sensory overload of nature's brilliance. It is a fragile, breathtaking masterpiece that serves as a vibrant reminder of the ocean's complexity and beauty. Floating in the Indian Ocean like a forgotten world, Socotra Island is widely considered the most alien-looking place on Earth. Isolated from the mainland for millions of years, this Yemeni archipelago has evolved a distinct ecosystem where over 1/3 of the plant life exists nowhere else. The landscape is dominated by the bizarre dragon's blood trees, which resemble upturned umbrellas or giant mushrooms. Their thick, knotted branches bleed a crimson resin when cut, a substance ancient civilizations once prized as a cure, all medicine and dye. Beyond these peculiar forests, the island features massive limestone plateaus, deep caves, and pristine white sand dunes that tumble into turquoise waters. The bulbous desert rose trees and rare bird species add to the sensation that you have stepped onto a different planet entirely. Socotra remains a biological time capsule. Hidden deep within the dense rainforests of northern Bali, Sekumpul Waterfall is widely regarded as the most beautiful cascade on the island. Its name translates to collection, fitting for a site that isn't just a single stream, but a majestic cluster of up to 7 distinct waterfalls tumbling into a lush valley. The main attraction features 2 colossal streams plunging 80 meters from the jungle canopy, creating a thunderous roar and a permanent mist that nourishes the surrounding emerald green ferns and vines. Unlike the easily accessible roadside stops in the south, reaching Sekumpul is a genuine adventure. It requires a steep, humid trek down hundreds of stairs and a river crossing, deterring mass tourism and preserving its pristine atmosphere. Standing at the base, drenched by the spray and dwarfed by the towering cliffs, offers a humbling, prehistoric experience that captures the raw, wild heart of Bali. Hidden beneath the arid landscape of the American Southwest, Antelope Canyon is a subterranean masterpiece carved by the relentless forces of wind and water. Located on Navajo land in Arizona, this slot canyon is world-renowned for its wave-like sandstone walls that spiral and twist in hypnotic flowing patterns. For millennia, flash floods have scoured the soft rock, smoothing it into shapes that resemble petrified liquid. The canyon's most iconic feature is the ethereal light beams that penetrate the narrow openings above, cutting through the darkness to illuminate dancing dust motes. As the sun moves across the sky, the sandstone walls shift in color, transitioning from deep violets and soft pinks to fiery oranges and brilliant golds. Stepping into these narrow, winding corridors offers a surreal, majestic experience. Exploding with a riot of colors against the arid backdrop of Gansu Province, China, the Jianye Dangsha landform is a geological masterpiece that looks like a surreal oil painting. Often called the Rainbow Mountains, these rolling hills are defined by their sharp, sweeping stripes of rust, red, butterscotch yellow, vivid orange, and emerald green. This technicolor display is the result of varying layers of sandstone and mineral deposits pressing together over 24 million years, functioning like a massive geological layer cake. The same tectonic forces that created the Himalayas eventually buckled these layers, tilting them into the jagged, rhythmic peaks we see today. Wind and rain subsequently carve the rock into smooth, flowing valleys. The colors are most vibrant, just after a rainfall, when the dust washes away, revealing a landscape that looks more like a spilled artist's palette than a natural rock formation, offering a view that feels entirely hallucinogenic. Hidden deep within the ancient rainforests of Khao Sok National Park in southern Thailand, Cholan Lake Ratchaprapha Dam offers a prehistoric landscape that feels like a scene from Jurassic Park. Created by the damming of the Tong Saing River, this vast inland sea transformed towering mountain peaks into over 100 massive limestone islands that jut vertically from the emerald green water. The jagged, sheer cliffs, some reaching nearly 1,000 meters high, are draped in verdant jungle and often shrouded in wisps of morning mist. The experience is defined by its serenity and isolation. Visitors stay in floating bamboo raft houses, waking up to the call of gibbons and the sight of hornbills gliding over the glassy surface. Far removed from the chaos of modern life, the lake's mirror-like reflections and looming stone giants create a tranquil, breathtaking atmosphere often called the Guilin of Thailand. Yet it retains a wild, untouched spirit all its own. Located in the heart of Turkey's Anatolian plains, Cappadocia is a geological wonderland that looks like it belongs in a fairy tale. The landscape is defined by its famous fairy chimneys, tall, cone-shaped rock formations created by ancient volcanic eruptions and millennia of wind erosion. These honeycombed rocks aren't just natural sculptures. For centuries, ancient civilizations carved homes, churches, and entire underground cities directly into the soft volcanic tuff, creating a human history as deep as the geology itself. The region creates its most iconic image at sunrise, when hundreds of colorful hot air balloons float silently over the lunar-like valleys. From above, the view of the rippled ravines and stone pillars is breathtaking. Whether you are exploring the deep, dark tunnels of the Derinkuyu underground city or watching the balloons drift over Garim National Park, Cappadocia offers a unique blend of natural whimsy and human ingenuity that makes it one of the most magical places on Earth. Dancing across the polar skies, the aurora borealis, or northern lights, is nature's most spectacular celestial light show. Visible in high-latitude regions like Iceland, Norway, and Canada, this phenomenon occurs when charged particles from the sun slam into Earth's atmosphere, steered by magnetic field lines. The result is an ethereal display of shimmering ribbons, neon greens, deep violets, and fiery reds that ripple and twist overhead in absolute silence. Unlike the static beauty of mountains or canyons, the aurora is a living, breathing performance that changes second by second. For millennia, these ghostly lights have sparked myths of spirits and dragons among Arctic cultures. Standing beneath this cosmic ballet, with the cold air biting at your face and the sky ignited in color, is a humbling reminder of the invisible forces that shield our planet from the void of space. Situated in southern Utah, Bryce Canyon is not technically a canyon at all, but a spectacular series of natural amphitheaters carved into the edge of a high plateau. The park is world famous for possessing the highest concentration of hoodoos on the planet, irregular columns of rock that look like totems or mythological statues. These spire-like formations, which can reach up to 200 feet high, are the result of frost wedging and the erosive power of rainwater dissolving the limestone over millions of years. The visual impact is startling. The rocks glow in vibrant shades of rust, red, fiery orange, and brilliant white, creating a stark contrast against the deep green pine forests and the azure sky. Whether viewed from the rim at sunrise when the stone appears to catch fire, or hiking down into the silent city among giants like Thor's hammer, Bryce Canyon offers a whimsical, labyrinthine landscape that feels entirely constructed by magic. Lying at the bottom of the world, Antarctica is the ultimate frontier, a land of extremes that stands as the coldest, driest, and windiest continent on Earth. It is a place of blinding white beauty, where a continental ice sheet, averaging over a mile thick, blankets nearly everything in a frozen silence. The landscape is far from monotonous. It is pierced by the jagged peaks of the Transantarctic Mountains and guarded by colossal tabular icebergs that dwarf modern ocean liners. In this frozen desert, life miraculously clings to the edges. The coastlines teem with millions of penguins, basking seals, and whales breaching in the nutrient-rich Southern Ocean, offering a stark, vibrant contrast to the barren interior. With no permanent human residence, visiting Antarctica feels like stepping onto another planet. A pristine, untouched wilderness where nature rules with absolute authority, offering a humbling perspective on the raw power of our world. Plunging from a dizzying height of 979 meters, 3,212 feet, in the heart of Venezuela's Canaima National Park, Angel Falls is the world's highest uninterrupted waterfall. It tumbles from the flat-topped summit of Oyan Tepui, or Devil's Mountain, a massive geological formation that rises abruptly from the jungle floor like a fortress of stone. The drop is so immense that much of the water evaporates into a fine mist before it ever touches the ground, creating a permanent, ghostly fog that shrouds the base in mystery. Hidden deep within a dense, roadless rainforest, This natural wonder is often shrouded in clouds and accessible only by river or air, adding to its allure as a true lost world. The indigenous Pemon people revere it as a spiritual site, and looking up at the ribbon of white water falling from the heavens, it is easy to see why it inspired the mythical Paradise Falls in the movie Up. It is nature at its most vertical and majestic. Deep in the mountainous heart of Croatia, Plitvice Lakes National Park is a cascading water wonderland that seems almost too perfect to be real. This UNESCO World Heritage Site is famous for its chain of 16 terraced lakes, joined together by hundreds of waterfalls that tumble from one pool to the next in a continuous flowing chain. The geological magic here is travertine, natural limestone barriers built by moss, algae, and bacteria that grow about 1 centimeter per year, constantly reshaping the lakes and falls. The water itself is mesmerizing, shifting colors endlessly from azure to electric green, gray, or deep blue, depending on the mineral content and the angle of the sunlight. Wooden boardwalks snake directly over the churning water and through the mist, allowing visitors to walk right through the heart of the landscape. Surrounded by dense, old-growth forests, Plitvice offers a serene aquatic symphony that feels like a living, breathing organism. Jutting out of the emerald green waters of the Andaman Sea, Phang Nga Bay is a seascape that looks like a traditional Chinese ink painting come to life. Located between Phuket and the mainland of southern Thailand, the bay is defined by its sheer limestone casts that rise vertically from the calm water. These gravity-defying pillars, some towering hundreds of meters high, are the eroded remnants of an ancient coral reef system, draped in scraggly vegetation and hidden caves. The most famous silhouette is James Bond Island, Koh Tapu, a needle-like rock standing precariously on a narrow base, immortalized in the movie The Man with the Golden Gun. Beyond the cinematic views, the bay hides secret worlds known as hongs, rooms, collapsed cave systems inside the islands that form hidden lagoons open to the sky. Accessible only by sea canoe during low tide, these silent sanctuaries are teeming with mangroves and monkeys. Combined with the floating village of Koh Phangan, built entirely on stilts, Phang Nga Bay offers a prehistoric, misty water world that creates an unforgettable atmosphere of mystery. Towering over the island of Lombok, Mount Rinjani is a majestic volcanic complex that balances incredible beauty with terrifying power. As Indonesia's second highest volcano, 3,726 meters, it dominates the skyline. But the true wonder lies within its massive summit caldera. Here, climbers are greeted by Sagara Anak, Child of the Sea, a crescent-shaped crater lake with waters of intense azure blue. Rising from the center of this lake is the active cone of Gunung Barujari. A volcano within a volcano that frequently emits plumes of smoke, creating a dramatic contrast between the serene water and the fiery earth. Sacred to both the Sasak people and Hindus, the mountain is often dotted with pilgrims making offerings to the spirits of the lake. The trek to the summit is grueling, but the reward is a sunrise view stretching from Bali's Mount Agung to the island of Sumbawa. Rinjani is a geological masterpiece offering a spiritual and physical journey through the clouds. Stretching across the high Andes of Bolivia, Salar de Uyuni is a landscape so surreal it feels like a fragment of another planet. As the world's largest salt flat, this blindingly white expanse covers over 10,000 square kilometers, a dazzling remnant of a prehistoric lake that dried up eons ago. During the dry season, the ground cracks into endless geometric hexagons of crystalline salt, creating a disorienting, infinite white horizon that plays tricks on your depth perception. However, the true magic manifests during the rainy season. A thin layer of water transforms the flats into the world's largest natural mirror, reflecting the sky so perfectly that the horizon completely vanishes, leaving you walking among the clouds. Dotted with rocky outcrops like Inca Hawasi Island, which is covered in giant ancient cacti, this ethereal void offers a silent, dreamlike beauty that is unmatched anywhere else on Earth. Located off the northwest tip of West Papua, Indonesia, Raja Ampat is the undisputed crown jewel of the Coral Triangle. Literally translating to the Four Kings, this archipelago consists of over 1,500 jungle-covered islands that rise sharply from translucent turquoise waters like emerald mushrooms. It is widely recognized by scientists as the epicenter of marine biodiversity on Earth, described often as the Amazon of the seas. Beneath the surface, the waters hold a staggering richness. The region contains 75% of the world's known coral species and over 1,500 species of fish. It is an underwater frenzy of life where divers can encounter everything from tiny pygmy seahorses to massive oceanic manta rays gliding through the currents. Above water, the iconic viewpoints at Waiag and Piayanemo offer panoramas of jagged limestone karst islets scattered across a sapphire sea, preserving a prehistoric, untouched paradise that redefines tropical beauty. Scattered across the heart of Bohol in the Philippines, the Chocolate Hills are a geological anomaly that looks almost entirely artificial. comprising over 1,200 perfectly symmetrical, cone-shaped mounds spread over 50 square kilometers. The landscape resembles a scene from a fantasy world. During the rainy season, the hills are vibrant green. But the magic happens in the dry season when the grass turns a deep, roasted brown. This transformation gives them the appearance of endless rows of giant Hershey's Kisses or chocolate truffles, earning them their delicious name. Geologically, these are karst formations created from the uplift of ancient coral deposits, subsequently eroded by rain and groundwater for eons. The sheer uniformity of the hills is baffling. They rise from the flat terrain with such regularity that legends claim they are the dried tears of a grieving giant. It is a whimsical, surreal vista that highlights nature's playful geometry. Carved into the southern slopes of the Aila Mountains in Yunnan, China, the Yuanyang rice terraces are a colossal masterpiece of land art sculpted by human hands over 1,300 years. Created by the Hani people, these cascading terraces slice through the rugged terrain, dropping thousands of feet from the misty summits to the Red River Valley below. They are often hailed as sculptures of the earth, transforming the mountains into a mesmerizing, rhythmic pattern of abstract curves and contours. The true spectacle emerges during the winter and spring when the paddies are flooded. The thousands of tiered pools act as a shattered mirror, reflecting the changing colors of the sky. At sunrise and sunset, the water glows with fiery reds, brilliant golds, and deep purples, looking less like a farm and more like a stained glass window laid over the mountains. It is a literal stairway to heaven that showcases a breathtaking harmony between ancient agriculture and the natural world. Sitting atop a dormant supervolcano, Yellowstone National Park is a bubbling, hissing testament to the Earth's raw power. Spanning primarily across Wyoming, this vast wilderness contains half of the world's known geothermal features. The landscape is dotted with exploding geysers like the punctual Old Faithful and the kaleidoscope of colors at the Grand Prismatic Spring, where heat-loving bacteria create vibrant rings of orange, yellow, and green. Beyond its volatile geology, Yellowstone is often called the American Serengeti, due to its incredible density of megafauna. The Lamar Valley teems with massive herds of bison, while grizzlies, wolves, and elk play out ancient dramas of predator and prey. From the thundering lower falls of the Grand Canyon of the Yellowstone to its boiling mud pots, the park is a land of extremes, serving as a wild, unpredictable reminder of the fire that burns beneath our feet. Hidden deep within the Andes of Peru, Vinicunca, widely known as the Rainbow Mountain, is a geological marvel that appears to be painted by hand. Standing at a breathtaking altitude of over 5,200 meters, the mountain features spectacular striations of 7 distinct colors running in parallel lines. These vibrant hues, ranging from deep maroon and gold to turquoise and lavender, are the result of millions of years of mineralogical composition and weathering. Iron oxide creates the reddish tones, while oxidized copper and sulfur provide the greens and yellows, forming a stunning natural kaleidoscope. For centuries, this colorful spectacle was concealed beneath thick layers of glacial snow, only recently revealed to the world due to rising temperatures. Reaching the summit requires a challenging trek through thin, high-altitude air. But the reward is an unparalleled view, set against the backdrop of the imposing Osangate Glacier. Vinicunca offers a stark, beautiful contrast between the snowy peaks and the painted earth, cementing its status as one of South America's most surreal destinations. Surrounded by the snowy peaks of the Julian Alps and lush emerald forests, Lake Bled in Slovenia is the epitome of a fairy tale landscape. The lake's glassy blue-green waters are famously centered around a tiny teardrop-shaped island, the only natural island in the country. Rising from the island's foliage is the Baroque Church of the Assumption, with its iconic 52-meter tower. Tradition says that if you ring the wishing bell inside, your dreams will come true. But first, visitors must conquer the famous 99 stone steps leading up to the sanctuary. Watching over this serene scene is Bled Castle, perched precariously on a sheer precipice, 30 meters above the water, offering commanding views of the entire valley. Visitors travel to the island on traditional wooden flat-bottomed boats called pletnas, powered by standing oarsmen. Whether shrouded in winter mist or glowing under the summer sun, Lake Bled offers a romantic, timeless beauty that feels entirely magical. Situated in the scorched Rift Valley of northern Tanzania, Lake Natron is a landscape of deadly beauty that looks more like a chemical spill than a natural body of water. The lake is infamous for its deep blood red and orange hues, a color produced by salt-loving cyanobacteria that thrive in its highly caustic environment. Fed by mineral-rich hot springs and possessing no outlet, evaporation concentrates the water into a soda cocktail, so alkaline pH levels can reach 10.5 that it can chemically burn the skin and eyes of unadapted animals. This hostility has earned it a macabre reputation. Birds and bats that perish in the water are often calcified by the sodium carbonate, turning them into eerie, stone-like statues preserved in death. Yet, paradoxically, this toxic cauldron is the exclusive breeding ground for millions of lesser flamingos, whose tough skin is immune to the burn. Set against the looming active volcano, or Dueño Lengai, Lake Natron is a stark alien world where life and death exist in a fragile balance. Tucked away in the Bernese Oberland of Switzerland, Lauterbrunnen is a valley so impossibly picturesque it is often cited as the real-life inspiration for J.R.R. Tolkien's Rivendell. This massive glacial trough is defined by sheer vertical limestone cliffs that rise hundreds of meters on either side of a lush, emerald-green valley floor. Its name translates to "many fountains," a nod to the 72 thundering waterfalls that spill over the rock faces from the hanging valleys above. The most iconic is the Staubach Falls, which plunges nearly 300 meters, turning into a wispy spray of mist before it hits the ground. Deep inside the mountain walls, the glacial Trummelbach Falls corkscrew through the rock in a deafening torrent of meltwater. Dotted with traditional wooden chalets and flower-filled meadows, all framed by the snowy giants of the Jungfrau, Monch and Eiger, Lauterbrunnen offers a landscape of serene, dramatic beauty that feels lifted straight from a fantasy novel. Defying both gravity and architectural logic, the Las Lajas Sanctuary in southern Colombia is a basilica that seems to hang suspended over a deep abyss. Located near the border with Ecuador, this stunning Gothic Revival church is built directly inside the canyon of the Guaitara River. It rises 100 meters from the canyon floor, connected to the opposite side of the gorge by a massive 50-meter-tall bridge. The structure looks less like a church and more like a fairy tale castle floating in the mist. The location is not accidental. The sanctuary was built to enclose a cave where, in 1754, a woman and her deaf-mute daughter reportedly saw an image of the Virgin Mary appear on the cliff face. A miracle that allegedly restored the girl's hearing. Today, the natural rock of the canyon wall still serves as the high altar, seamlessly blending the divine with the dramatic geology of the Andes. Rising from a desolate plain known as the Sea of Sand, Mount Bromo offers one of the most dramatic volcanic landscapes in Indonesia. Located in East Java within the massive Tengah caldera, this active summer volcano is not the highest peak, but certainly the most iconic. The entire area looks like a scene from the moon, a vast grey, dusty wasteland punctuated by the jagged cone of Bromo, constantly belching white sulphurous smoke into the sky. The most magical moment occurs at sunrise. usually viewed from the nearby Mount Pinanjakan. As the sun crests the horizon, it illuminates the mist hanging in the valley, creating an ethereal, otherworldly tableau with the towering Mount Semeru erupting in the background. Visitors can cross the sand sea, and time stares directly to the crater rim, staring down into the roaring, steaming belly of the Earth, a visceral reminder of our planet's volatile power. Located in the Hunan province of China, Zhangjiajie National Forest Park is a gravity-defying realm of stone that seems lifted straight from a fantasy novel. The park is famous for its thousands of quartzite sandstone pillars, some towering over 3,000 feet into the air. These vertical peaks are the result of millions of years of physical erosion, creating a jagged skyline of needle-like formations draped in lush subtropical foliage. It is widely recognized as the real-life inspiration for the floating Hallelujah Mountains in the movie Avatar. The magic is most potent when the heavy mists roll in, obscuring the bases of the pillars and making the peaks appear to float effortlessly among the clouds. Visitors can ascend the Bailong Elevator, the world's tallest outdoor lift, to gaze down into the dizzying abyss. Piercing the stratosphere at 8,848 meters, 29,032 feet, Mount Everest stands as the ultimate monarch of the Himalayas and the highest point on Earth. Known as Chomolungma, goddess mother of the world to Tibetans and Sagarmatha to the Nepalese, this colossal pyramid of rock and ice operates on a scale that is hostile to human life. Above 8,000 meters lies the infamous death zone, where oxygen levels are so low that the body begins to slowly shut down, and hurricane-force winds scour the summit constantly. Despite the lethal conditions, the mountain exerts a magnetic pull on the human spirit. Climbers who survive the grueling ascent past the treacherous Khumbu Icefall and the Hillary Steppe are rewarded with a view that few will ever see. The curvature of the Earth stretching out beneath the sky that transitions from blue to the infinite black of space. It is a place of terrible beauty, demanding absolute respect from those who dare to tread on the roof of the world. Sandwiched between the Himalayas and the Karakoram Range in northern India, Ladakh is a high-altitude desert that offers one of the most starkly beautiful landscapes on Earth. Often called the Land of High Passes or Little Tibet, the region resembles a lunar surface more than a terrestrial one. The terrain is a vast, monochromatic wilderness of craggy brown, grey and purple mountains, sculpted by wind and devoid of vegetation, yet bathed in an impossibly crisp, high-definition light due to the thin air. This barren austerity is dramatically broken by the shocking brilliance of its water bodies, most notably Pangong Tso. This endorheic lake stretches across the border into Tibet and is famous for changing colors from varying shades of azure to light blue and green as the sun moves across the sky. Dotted with ancient, whitewashed monasteries, gompas clinging to sheer cliff faces, Ladakh is a land of silence, spirituality, and raw geological grandeur that feels timeless. Spilling out of the rugged Trugash Mountains like a frozen highway, Nick Glacier is a massive river of ice located just 50 miles east of Anchorage, Alaska. Spanning over 25 miles in length and 5 miles across, this white leviathan is a remnant of the last ice age, grinding through the valley with immense geological force. The glacier is renowned for its sheer, jagged face, which rises hundreds of feet from the water, constantly carving massive blocks of ice into the iceberg-choked lake. The landscape creates a stunning visual contrast. The brilliant electric blue of the deep crevasses cuts sharply against the black streaks of lateral moraines, rock debris scraped from the mountainsides. In winter, it becomes a playground for fat tire bikers, while summer reveals a dynamic, thundering world of melting ice and rushing water. Often used as a filming location for movies due to its dramatic scenery, Nick offers a raw, accessible glimpse into the frozen heart of the North. Perched precariously on a solitary rock in the middle of the Drina River, the Drina River House is a whimsical symbol of resilience that looks like a scene from a storybook. Located near the town of Baujina Bauta in Serbia, this tiny wooden cabin has defied the elements for over half a century. It was originally constructed in 1968 by a group of young swimmers who needed a resting spot while crossing the river. They transported the boards by boat and kayak, slowly assembling their sanctuary. The house is famous not just for its isolation, but for its stubborn survival. The river's moody, turquoise waters often rise and rage, and the cabin has been swept away by floods multiple times over the decades. Yet, each time the water recedes, the locals retrieve the pieces and rebuild it. It stands today as a serene, lonely outpost, perfectly framing the harmony between human persistence and the raw power of nature. Nestled high in the Talkeetna Mountains of Alaska, Hatcher Pass is a rugged alpine paradise that encapsulates the raw, untamed spirit of the last frontier. This breathtaking mountain pass offers a dramatic landscape of jagged granite peaks, sweeping glacial valleys, and crystal-clear alpine lakes like Summit Lake, which reflect the mood of the ever-changing northern skies. In the summer, the tundra explodes with vibrant wildflowers and lush green slopes, while winter transforms the area into a stark, white wonderland renowned for deep powder skiing. Adding to its allure is the eerie, preserved history of the Independence Mine State Historical Park. The decaying red wooden structures of this abandoned gold mine stand in stark contrast to the imposing grey mountains, offering a glimpse into the region's gold rush past. Accessible by a winding road that feels like a journey to the top of the world, Hatcher Pass is a stunning convergence of geological grandeur and human history. Glistening like a mirage at the lowest point on Earth, the Dead Sea sits over 430 meters below sea level, wedged between Israel, Jordan, and the West Bank. This hypersaline lake is nearly 10 times saltier than the ocean, creating an environment where marine life cannot exist, hence its name. Water is so dense that traditional swimming is impossible. Instead, visitors float effortlessly on the surface, often captured in the iconic image of reading a newspaper while reclining in the water. The shoreline is edged with jagged, snow-white salt crystal formations that contrast sharply against the mineral-rich turquoise waters and the golden, arid mountains surrounding it. Beyond its buoyancy, the sea is renowned as the world's first health resort. Its mineral-heavy black mud and oxygen-rich air have attracted visitors for millennia, seeking therapeutic healing. It is a silent, still, and utterly unique landscape that defies the laws of normal swimming. Dominating the skyline of Western Germany like a dark stone giant, Cologne Cathedral, Kölner Dom, is a masterpiece of high Gothic architecture that commands absolute awe. Standing on the banks of the Rhine, its twin filigree spires soar 57 meters into the air, possessing the largest facade of any church in the world. Construction began in 1248, but wasn't completed until 1880, a staggering 632-year saga of human perseverance. The cathedral is famous for its blackened sandstone exterior, a testament to age and industrial history, and its miraculous survival amidst the flattened ruins of the city during Wurti aerial raids. Stepping inside reveals a cavernous interior where the vaulted ceiling seems to disappear into the heavens. The cathedral houses the Shrine of the Three Kings, a gilded sarcophagus believed to hold the remains of the biblical Magi, making it one of Europe's most significant pilgrimage sites. It is a monument of endurance, faith, and architectural ambition.